Nominated was Anne Brown. Anne is the operations manager for the involvement and service development team within Northumbria NHS Foundation Trust. In that role, Anne is committed to making sure that the trust is as inclusive and diverse as it can be for the 9,000 employees and over 500,000 people that we support. Anne is a nice person, she's very likeable, and she has a strong work ethic, very motivated, particularly enthusiastic about equality and diversity issues, and we can see that in her team. It's pleasing to see staff do a really good job, but it's a pleasure to see them doing that job and enjoying it. And that's in no small part to the work that Anne does with them. Anne and her team have developed the customer experience group within the community business unit for the Trust. That group monitors and reports on customer experience, patient experience and the services that we deliver. And they report that back to managers like me in a format that makes it easy for us to do what we need to do about tailoring services, what's good about what we do, what's not so good about what we do. And yet I'm sure the work to achieve that is really quite complicated and complex. In addition, that group has led to the rollout of the Friends and Family Test across the community business unit. No small feat with a business unit that covers such a huge geographical area, with 65 services, and in the first test over 6,000 responses from patients and users. She's also been heavily involved working with people with a learning disability and their families around the JACK programme. This is a programme aimed at men with learning disability, helping them better understand their bodies, promoting good health and good relationships. And from that work, it's led us to realise that we need to revise the guidelines that we have for staff who work with this particular group. And lastly, Anne manages a very small team, and in the last 2 years they've experienced the death of a close colleague and a very good friend, not only to that team but to the whole business unit. That was really traumatic for those people, and Anne was extremely strong, extremely supportive of her team, whilst at the same time hurting just like they were. Her strength of character and her leadership shone at that time.
I nominated Vincent McCluskey, Infection Control Manager at the North East Ambulance Service, who's the chair of our Proud at NEAS group. Vincent is professional, enthusiastic, committed, and a role model for frontline staff at the North East Ambulance NHS Foundation Trust. Vincent has led the way in the development of the Proud at NEAS LGBT staff network. His energy and enthusiasm has helped the organisation make real improvements for LGBT equality and become an organisation that's more inclusive. Vince has played a key role in challenging the norms and culture within the organisation. With his unique approach, his friendly attitude and his ability to get everybody on side, he's helped the organisation become a much more LGBT friendly place to work. Vince has helped us set up a Facebook page for the Proud at NEAS group. He's helped us link to the national agenda through the National Ambulance LGBT Forum, helped us with our Stonewall assessment, and also linked with various staff across the Trust to ensure that we get the message out about the Proud at NEAS group and that we are really positive about LGBT equality. Vince has been key to making sure that we're represented at North East Pride events, having organised events for Durham, Newcastle and Sunderland. He's ensured the North East Ambulance Service NHS Foundation Trust is represented at each of those events. He's committed a huge amount of time inside and outside of work to this agenda and has helped the organisation become much more inclusive of LGBT staff and also give us a better community presence with the LGBT community.
I nominated Kath Edgill. Kath is a counsellor at Northumbria Healthcare NHS Foundation Trust. Kath is a member of staff who works with individuals on a one-to-one basis across the organisation and also with groups of employees, particularly those associated with the equality and diversity work across the Trust. Kath is a very kind, sensitive, supportive individual who gives members of staff a significant amount of not only her professional time but also her own time in the organisation. She's a real advocate for equality and diversity, and that is why I nominated her for this award. Kath does a lot of work across the organisation, which is pretty much part of her day-to-day job. Kath actually has gone the extra mile and worked within her own time with specific challenging young people within the organisation, and has really developed very close working relationships with them, but actually given them an opportunity to promote equality and diversity across the organisation. Kath absolutely deserves this award. Her work has been phenomenal. She has been a real role model to many people, and she absolutely benefits the organisation in lots of different ways, but she's a real champion for equality and diversity, although she's very quiet about it, not really particularly very forthcoming and upfront, which is why I nominated her for this award.